The newest anime to take on the shonen world by a storm is Jujutsu Kaisen. This is an anime that will make epic animation even for a random person fighting an ant. Now that the first season has come to an end, it was about time to do a top 10 list of the most blood-pumping scenes from the series. A battle between two second-year students. One is a panda and the other is a robot. Panda is a sentient cursed corpse and the most complex abrupt mutated cursed corpse in existence. Whereas Mechamaru is a cursed corpse remotely controlled by curse energy. This is an important episode that helps educate the audience more about the extent of curse energy. One was born with severe deformities leading to pain, suffering, and isolation from society, but in exchange gained tremendous amounts of cursed energy. Whilst the other is just pure curse energy with intelligence. Their fight may have been short, but it was still a feast to the eyes. It's not just the main character fights that have great animation, even the supporting cast have beautifully animated fights. This is another fight where Megumi is used as a punching bag. He's probably better off as a construction worker based on the number of buildings he has taken down. Todo, on the other hand, is a physical embodiment of the phrase, "Ah, I see you are a man of culture." Unfortunately, Megumi failed the culture test, and the consequence was a total massacre. Although, it was still impressive to see his durability and endurance to withstand the repeated blows to the head. It's unfortunate that he gets stopped every time he attempts to use his hidden technique. However, it was still epic to see that not only Sukuna, but Todo also noticed something within him. He clearly has a lot of potential as a sorcerer. This was the first time we were introduced to the two strongest characters in the entire series. One is the strongest sorcerer, and the other is the king of the curses. Granted, Sukuna may only be using 1/20th of his full power, but Gojo wasn't exactly using his full power either. In fact, he was completely toying with him. However, even a play fight between two godly beings was far beyond the capacity of the average character. It was still enough for an exciting fight that hooked everyone to the anime. This was also the only time in the entire series we see the king of the curses humiliated to the point he was left on his knees. Quite early on in the series, these trainee sorcerers were thrown into a battle against a special grade curse that even experienced fighters would struggle with. It didn't take long to realise how powerless they are when Yuji's severed hand hits the ground behind him. It was a crucial moment for Yuji, as he for the first time encounters fear and death, but Sukuna makes his entrance just in time. He may currently be weaker than Gojo, but his carefree attitude and general vibe around him makes him a total badass, unlike your typical inner demons. After accidentally regenerating Yuji's hand, he goes on to toy around and bully the special grade curse by ripping off his limbs while enjoying it with a maniacal laugh. He finally finishes things with an epic domain expansion. This super salaryman absolutely hates working overtime, and that's reflected with how dramatically his curse power increases along with his negativity. He made a self-binding contract based on time, which restricts his curse energy during the day, but on the flip side, his curse energy is well above normal levels after the restricted hours. However, even with this boost in power, the main villain was a tough opponent to handle himself. Usually, a side character fighting the main villain is a death flag, but not for him. He is calm, collected, and smart. When he realises his chances are slim, he makes an epic exit and saves himself for a future rematch. A lot happens in this fight. For the first time, we see Yuji completely enraged at the curse who toyed around with his newfound friend. We are reminded of how cruel curses are, as both special grade curses found great amusement in watching Yuji suffer. Finally, we see Yuji and Nanami jump this villain without giving him a chance to fight back. The fascinating aspect of this series is that it's not just the good guys that can develop mid-fight. Villains can grow too. The Curse Spirit finally develops his domain expansion ability when pushed to his limits, and traps Nanami, but luckily he is safe thanks to Sukuna's arrogance. Megumi just had enough of being thrown around through every building nearby, so he became the protagonist of this episode. When the most emotionally and mentally stable person in the team snaps, it usually means trouble, and that's exactly what we get here. His expression of insanity as he removes all constraints was an epic moment. And to boost it, he had a powerful incomplete domain expansion, which is all just the beginning. This episode really ties it to the start of the season, to show the significant growth he underwent from having no chance at all to killing a much powerful version of the Cursed Spirit. There is so much more potential in him to look forward to. The final episode nailed it. Nobara proved herself as an anime queen in this episode. She's nothing like the typical female characters of a shonen anime. Her teamwork with Yuji, the music, the choreography, the animation, everything was just so perfect. Each one of this trio had such tremendous character growth that each one can easily be the protagonist. Unlike Megumi, who just recently showed his psychotic side, Nobara has always been crazy. She was a complete savage to the point newcomers wouldn't know who the antagonist was. Her cold-blooded confidence was pure badass, and was satisfying to see that she wasn't there just to assist, but took the leading role against these special grade curses. Every time Gojo appears, he reveals more and more of his power. This time, he fights against a special grade curse that is stronger than Sukuna at 1/20th of his power. However, Gojo was still just playing around. He even had time to explain how his powers work. Then he decided to turn this into a private class by taking a trip to pick up his student mid-fight to give him a lesson. This all happens within seconds of Jogo getting back up on his feet. The overwhelming difference in power left this special grade curse clueless of the situation he is in. But Gojo takes it a step further by completely humiliating him with just his words. This is the fight where the bros deflowered Hanami. This special grade curse loves the planet and wants to kill all humans that keep abusing and deteriorating the planet. Fortunately, Todo managed to help Yuji level up enough to be able to keep up with even a special grade curse. He was able to deliver consecutive black flashes in the short time he trained with Todo. Their compatible fighting styles allowed for some of the best teamwork in anime history. This is especially impressive for a duo who only knew each other for a few minutes and bonded so well thanks to having the same taste in women. As I mentioned earlier, even enemies have character development. Hanami discovers the joy of challenging battle with no restraints. Unfortunately, The fun comes to an end when Gojo turns up with no blindfold. If you ever feel stupid, just remember that bald guy who attacked Gojo. If you enjoyed that, a like would be a huge help in taking this channel to the next level. And remember to subscribe for many more top 10s to come.